Near AI. What did you ship this week?
GM, everyone. I'm Peter from Nearweek, and I'm super happy to be back with the first edition of What Did You Ship this week on Near Protocol. It's the first in 2026, and we have a stellar lineup as always. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out to all the projects that have decided to come on today and show to the world what you're building. Remember, everyone, this is a stage for you if you're building within NEAR, or if you're building something interesting within the sovereign AI space or the intent space. Please let us know so we can help you showcase and what you've been doing and get the recognition that you deserve. So first up today, you should know him by now. If not, he is one of the OGs in the NEAR ecosystem, and he is also an OG of this stream. It's Arto Bendigen from Asimov Protocol, and Arto, as always, a pleasure to have you on the stream. I can see you're muted.
Hey, Peter. Yeah,
Hey.
I must be one of the most frequent guests.
Yeah, and I love it because that just tells me that what Asimov is up to. You actually ship stuff, which is what we want, right? And this is the first time I see you in 2026, so belated Happy New Year, Arto. I'm hoping to see you in San Francisco next month. Or did you go back?
Certainly, I'm coming to NearCon.
Okay, great. Have a lot of questions about knowledge graphs and robotics and all that stuff that I'd love to ask you in person about. So that's fantastic. But also, for those who don't know you, brief introduction, what Asimov is, and then let's get into what you've been up to lately. The stage is yours.
Absolutely. So, hey, I'm Arto. I led EVM development at NEAR Protocol back in the dinosaur days. And since then, spun that off as Aurora, of course, and then after Aurora, working on something called Asimov Protocol. And Asimov Protocol is building a knowledge layer for trustworthy AI. Simple as that. As in the last quarter in San Francisco, I spent the last quarter of last year in San Francisco. That was very useful for clarifying, the sort of elevators pitch, which is after all what anybody cares about over there. And the knowledge layer, I'm pleased to say I can demonstrate in a way today that will touch upon many in the ecosystem. Because today we are announcing that we have a Near AI module sort of ready to go. Let's see if I can screenshot that one here. So all of our modules for Asimov platform live over on GitHub under Asimov-modules. And this is the Near AI prompter module that integrates with the confidential inference that Near AI is making available. And I'm going to do a live demo of this in just a second. But back to the platform. So the platform is something we've been working on 1.5 years. We have now a sort of limited availability version of it out there, and are about to release the general availability version within a month or so. We had quite a lot of interest in the platform in San Francisco and the Valley. The most important thing we achieved during the 3 months over there is that we have absolute clarity now on the product direction. Unfortunately, I'm not really at liberty to speak about the first commercial product we'll be launching just yet, as we want to do a big launch at East Denver. So that means just a few weeks away for the unveiling. And that also explains the recent relative radio silence from our side, as we have mostly been focused on the, shall we say, closed source part of the code base. But indeed, let me go ahead and share here the live demo of how you can use the platform to query confidential inference, which I think is a very good default for most people. Meaning that although the SMO platform allows you to run inference locally on your computer, as I will also demonstrate, this of course needs a little bit of setup on the user side. It needs, for example, a multi-gigabyte download. So it's not necessarily the best default. So Asimov is available as a command line tool. It's a modular solution, so we can look here at some of the modules I have installed, and of course the full list available on GitHub or our website. And you can see that we have here indeed not only the NEAR module for fetching block data from NEAR, the blockchain, which I've demonstrated before, but we also have a NEAR AI module. And the way this works is simple enough. You can ask questions. It's going to the NEAR AI backend. Well, LLMs can be concise when you give them some constraints. But not only math, we can ask something about what do you know about Peter? Because of course it has access to my calendar and some background information on the people that I'm currently on a call with. That seems like a reasonable summary, Peter. This is of course coming from your LinkedIn. So what we are doing with the different modules we have. So just to remind, in the module list here, we have an X module to pull Twitter information down. We have modules for pulling other kinds of information through SERP API, through API. We have the LinkedIn information. There's a whole bunch of Luma events. There's a whole bunch of information that we can combine in this way, and then it can be used in prompts. So how is Peter connected to Arto? So through LinkedIn, we know that we are former colleagues at the NEAR Foundation and beyond. And we also have, of course, the whole social graph of myself and Peter pulled in from Twitter, LinkedIn, and the like. And let's see if it knows about our Telegram connection as well. So the Telegram module, okay, that one is probably not enabled right now, but we pull in information from Telegram and Signal as well. And all of this information is being pulled into a large personal knowledge graph, which is stored only on your device. Of course, as you choose to use a cloud backend like NEAR AI for inference, then some of that information will be shared. But of course, the point of NEAR AI's offering is that the inference is run confidentially without even them having access to that. Now, we can also run inference locally. So we have other modules like the Ollama module. Oh, sorry, okay, I need to. Currently, we don't really support this in a very dynamic way, but we're working on that. So just enabling the Ollama module, and then that will be somewhat slower, of course, as it needs to. And depending on the size of the model, the answers can be a lot worse than the Galaxy Brains that you can access at NEAR AI. Also, one more reason why I think NEAR AI is a very good default for privacy-conscious people as their inference provider. But nonetheless, locally you have nothing at all leaving your machine, and that's of course very, very welcome. So let's see what what it knows about. Yeah. So that's a short demo, and all of this to be improved in future iterations. But right now, focused on the launch of our mobile-first commercial product, which is going to be available in East Denver, and in fact provide quite a lot of utility to everybody attending East Denver or NearCon or the like. When I mentioned that we are organizing our first event in Denver, let's see if this screen share is coming through. So this is where you can sign up, venue still to be determined, and timing putative. Let's see, is this coming through or not? Sometimes takes a while after changing the, yes, there we go. So we'll be one of the side events in Denver in 3 weeks' time. So that's a short update, Peter. I could go on for a lot longer.
Yeah, well, I love this, Arto. Are you going to showcase any of this? Are you going to bring some of this to NearCon as well?
Well, certainly, if somebody asked me up on stage, I'm happy to go. But so far we have.
I would like a personal demo.
Yeah, that will work just fine.
I think this looks sick. So all of the data sources that you are simply able to toggle on, is this data that lives locally on? This would be my phone then.
Yeah, so we have for messengers, we have Signal. So we are decrypting the messages locally on your desktop. We have Telegram, which was quite a beast, but I think most useful for most of us in crypto. We have iMessage in the works. That's also going to work out. And we have WhatsApp in the works. So WhatsApp will be announced probably next week or the week after. And I think we're gonna stop at those messengers. That's kind of more than 80 or 90% of the market for now.
Yeah, and then in general, can I then just toggle any app that I have on my phone and give you access to that to create the knowledge graph, or like how many sources can I plug into this?
Well, that's the thing. So the scalability is not limited by the usual LLM concerns, because we do all of this very differently from the mainstream. So we don't pack the context with whatever can fit into there for the LLM inference. Instead, we turn your question into a graph query, and then we query a graph, and that graph can be of any size. And all of your information in your life is united in that graph. So and just running on your devices. And we'll have a bit of a twist on all of this in Denver that will be announced in a few weeks.
And could this, like, when it runs locally also, is that like, how big is the model running on my phone? Does it take a lot of power?
Well, I have a MacBook Air that I'm sitting on right now. So here I can run comfortably, I'd say 7 billion models, perhaps 13, a little bit slower. But if you have a MacBook Pro and you have enough memory, you can go really big. You can go to 70 billion models locally, and if you have a latest generation machine, then it's going to be a reasonable speed for the output. So I'm a big believer in local private AI, but I recognize that a lot of people really also want the confidential cloud where you can go much bigger in size, and hence I think Near AI's product is a good fit there for a default that we can offer.
Okay, awesome. So this is actually a live integration that we just saw with the Near AI and your latest product, which is going live. I would say that's pretty huge, to be honest. And Arto, you mentioned there's a problem market, what do you call it, problem market fit, because too many people want access. Is this after your roadshow? Like basically all these events you've been doing, it sounds like you created a small community.
Well, the beginning of one, we are very under-resourced, which means that anytime I'm spending at events, speaking, talking to people, not coding, right? So unfortunately, with a small team, it means that we do less communication than would be ideal. But certainly all of this grew out of the 3 months in the Bay, where we were met with very good reactions to the demos that we did. But the demos were not yet products, right? They were demonstrating some of the capabilities, So for example, let's see here if I can quickly share the tab again. As we were doing, oh yeah, thanks, that helps. As we were doing events in the Bay, we did, of course, this sort of live recognition of people in the room based on the a video camera observing the room and doing face recognition, doing object detection, mapping out the relationships with people in the room, and so on. So these were great demos that really got a lot of oohs and ahs and chills down the spine and other comments every single time we did them. But this was not yet a product. This was just something that we put together from the platform ingredients as a demo, and it meant to wow, and we got that wow. But then by December, we had pretty much worked out how we can productize a lot of these capabilities in a way that has inherent virality, double virality actually, as I call it, and can be put in your pocket, which is what we are doing in Denver. So that's going to be a bit of a shocker once we go live with that.
Excited to see that. And one last question, because there's so much about vibe coding tools, etc. these days on X and everywhere else. As a privacy first and a cyberpunk OG, what tools do you use? Also, do you use any of the vibe coding tools that are out there? Do you trust them, or just curious to hear like your take on all of this?
Sure. So I use Cursor, and in fact, I'm currently in El Salvador, so greets from here, Buenas tardes, and I'll be judging a Cursor hackathon this Saturday. So the tools are very useful. I'd say that they make me about 50% more productive. But I have 30 years of software engineering experience. So somebody with less experience might get actually a phenomenal boost from it, as long as they pass the junior stage where they can't really tell apart whether something is a hallucination or not, right? You have to be able to be past that to be useful with these tools. But yes, I use everything possible. I'm a big believer in code generation already prior to LLMs. I mean, the scope of this project is fairly large. We've been at it for multiple years. There are hundreds of repositories on GitHub that are involved. There's hundreds of thousands of lines of code, not all that you've seen the effects of yet. So I think the only way you can manage something like that is through automation. And so we use both a combination of traditional code generation based on, let's say, frameworks for code gen that I developed, over the past decade, as well as, of course, LLM derived everything, including in the automation of the coding experience.
Interesting. Arto, thank you so much for coming. Super excited to see the progress you've been doing lately. A lot of stuff going on, and I'm very excited to test or at least see a live demo of the application that you just talked about going live at ETH10. So fingers crossed everything goes well, and I'll see you in 3 weeks' time in San Francisco.
Definitely. I'm arriving there around the middle of the month, so already prior to the craziness starting, let's hang out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Arto, thank you so much for coming today. Keep chipping.
Always. See you.
Great. All right, next up, we got Julien Carbonel, who's here to talk about his project Nova, which is about secure file sharing for user-owned AI. And Julien, a warm welcome. This is the first time you're here. I think I remember I saw you the first time last year at Redacted. You were at the conference, and it seems like you stayed around, and now you're actually building a project on Near. So super excited to hear more about all of that. So please, Julien, give a brief intro to who you are, what Nova is, and then you can get into all the details of what you've been doing lately.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. Yeah, indeed. I've been with Near, I think, for the last 3 years. I've tried different apps from my urban developer background. So I started coding, I think, 5 years ago, 6 now. And primarily I was applying these coding skills to what was my previous background, which was urban development. That's why I was working on other platforms like for shared use of items in the city, trying to do this kind of things. But I was feeling something was somehow off, at least was not echoing to developers' ecosystems. And I'm really glad now, because my way of seeing things in tech tools have been evolved. And now I think I have something really interesting, and I'm super happy to have Nova working. Nova is this secure file sharing system that's somehow blending all my previous experiences in something that's at the same time very easy to explain, and so it can also fit in a lot of projects. It's actually a decentralized backend service, which I'm proposing as an SDK in both JavaScript and Rust. So anyone can essentially plug and play my backend service in their dApps. And there is also an exciting user interface that was not easy to set up, but if you go on the web page, you will see a chatbot with which you can have a discussion about your files, and everything is automated. It's really cool. At least I find it very exciting. So I will share you something here now, which will be share screen. Yeah. Can you see that? I guess you can.
Yes, it's all
Yes.
good.
Awesome. So yeah, that's an overview of the tech stack. Essentially, well, the first concern usually when I speak about secure file sharing through IPFS, I got questions like, how can you make like confidential files on a public ledger? And it's true that IPFS is public, but what I'm sending to IPFS, to the decentralized storage, is an encrypted data of local files. So essentially, you can see here there are, let's say, 3 big layers. What's public is the near smart contract. It's auditable. This is where I store the metadata and the transaction logs, and the SIDs, which are the cryptographic hashes of the file that has been uploaded. And this file, well, even if anyone could get this SID, they will need a key to decrypt the file. So your file, going down now, the file stays on your local computer. It is encrypted on the client side, and then it is sent to the MCP server for an orchestration. The MCP server is fetching the private key and the group keys in a shared agent that stays in a Fala trusted execution environment, and then this is later recorded on the blockchain. So I'm using this system to, for the moment, to transfer data sets between a flow of agents. That's the use case that I had in mind. When I heard that Near pivoted to a roadmap for user-owned AI, I was really excited by the tools that were coming for privacy. I think that there are a lot of bubbles of privacy that are emerging now, and Near is a leader, I believe, in the blockchain for this. But somehow I found that we might have a missing piece that was a data layer, which all these AI agents, all these privacy bubbles could use to communicate together. I don't know if you've been, for example, aware of the way we train or we fine-tune AI models, but usually, yeah, you give data to your model. The model is doing calculation and transformation, and then there is an output of this model. And when you are training models in chain, for example, with different models being specialized in different like calculations, there is constant like input, output, and I figured that we could build something that will be like a private layer, which the models will use to communicate together without never leaking or having potential leaks of the data. And so that's what Nova is doing. I can show you a bit if we go now on the websites. Remove no.
Where did you go?
Did I left the stage?
Ah, you're back now. Let me just.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. I wanted to show that. Probably.
Yeah, let's show it.
Cool. So yeah, now you can see this is the web page, the user interface. My account is connected. I'm connected with the wallet. Here you have a simple button to buy Near tokens. This is made, by the way, with an integration with PingPay that will be presented later. And you also have here a solution to generate an API key that's being used when you want to use Nova through the SDKs. But essentially, this is the best interface for trying your files, for trying Nova easily. If I ask them, for example, which groups do I own? I'm running Claude Haiku in the background. I think it's good enough for the tasks. And so it's telling me, okay, these are some of the files I have. Suppose I'm using the SDK test group. I will upload a file, for example, I generated, where is it? Documents, no, desktop. I generated something like a secret strategy for gamers. Like suppose you are gaming online with some friends and you are sending a message to your teammate. I will tell the chat to upload this message to group SDK test group. It's a bit confusing, this presentation. I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of my mind, but I believe that with Nova SDK, we can build a lot of different use cases atop. We have been thinking of privacy vaults for different reasons, for financial data, healthcare data. We can also think of private message systems. I told you about this chains of AI agents. There is quite a lot of things that could be benefiting from the secure data layer. So what you see here, when your file is uploaded, it gives you a SID. This SID is like a URL for IPFS. So if you copy paste that in your browser, you usually access the file. There with Nova, you will need an access key that's being stored in the shade agent. So only someone that's authorized to the group. I can ask, for example, who is also to group to this group. So you can add or revoke members in the groups that you create, and you can share files privately within those groups. And only the people who are currently present or authorized to the group will be okay. That's only my wallet. But yeah, only the person who are authorized to this group can retrieve the key in shade, and so is able to decrypt the data that's publicly stored on IPFS. And that can be used for different reasons. Yeah, I'm also thinking of dataset marketplaces. If you have valuable data sets, for example, that you know that you can train some specific AI models to do some specific stuff, you don't want to share these data sets publicly on Kaggle or something like that. So we could imagine that a dataset marketplace will be running with Nova in the background. And the whole idea about sponsoring this Near Innovation Sandbox is to start having developers to code prototypes using the Nova SDK. So the SDK is just published on mainnet. I think I did that on the 1st of January. So I don't have yet a clear view on who will be my adopters. I don't know exactly how the market will digest this new tool. And organizing the competition with other flows from the Near ecosystem is a way to have developers trying Nova for different kind of apps, maybe ideas I haven't thought about, and then it will give me a better idea on how exactly I could maybe tweak the app and make it fit the market adoption.
Awesome. I think I really like your product, Julien. What was I thinking? Will you be at NearCon?
Oh yeah, of course, I'm coming.
Perfect. So you'll actually be able to tutor people IRL, show them what's the idea with the Nova SDK, etc. I really like the idea of like this is like fully encrypted private data end to end, like and then it's super resilient, right? Because you store it on IPFS. So basically, it's also censorship resistant.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, no one can know what's in your data, and no one can retrieve it without your consent. That's the idea. Yeah.
I think this is like extremely powerful, and I really hope that we gonna get some cool use cases around this. I like the idea of like enterprise-wise, right? Like enterprise adoption with health data, all this stuff. Like all of a sudden, you have a secure way, 100% secure way end to end to actually share that kind of data. Yeah, I think it's super cool, Julien, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
One question, like, what was the idea to build the product? How come you came to think of it?
Well, it started last year. I was building a sort of platform for artists who wants to get out of the Spotify trap, let's say. And so I was thinking of a way, how could we strengthen the artist fans link by allowing artists to send private music or videos to their fans. And yeah, I think I started to think of data privacy with blockchain in this context.
Okay, interesting. So it's actually from a very different context.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so thank you so much. And like, Julien, awesome that you're building these things on Near, and you've been around for the last 3 years. I didn't even know. It's like community members like you. We need more of you, and all of the guys that are building stuff like Julien. Please come to the show so we can help tell the world that you're building. And you have bounties at NearCon, right? At the sandbox.
Yeah, exactly. There is a 3,000 bounties for people willing to try Nova and make their best app.
Perfect. So you heard the guy. Come to the hackathon. Build some cool shit with Nova. All right, Julien. I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Next up, we have Jay from PingPay. That always rhymes. And Jay's been shipping some cool shit lately. You went live. PingPay is live, right, Jay?
Yep. Yes, we are live. Feels great. Just kind of going to continue shipping over the next few months as well.
I love it. Okay, Jay, please take over the stage and tell us more about what you've been up to lately.
Yeah, all good. Do you mind if you share my slides that I've got pulled up? Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so everyone, thanks for having me. I'm Jay. I've been here a few times, and at PingPay, we're building an orchestration layer for payments, leveraging the universal liquidity layer of Near Intents. I'll just do a quick overview of what Ping is before jumping into what we shipped this week. But Ping essentially sits at the center layer above fiat and all chains, acting as one payment network that connects all blockchains and fiat systems into a range of different use cases, such as SaaS payments, e-commerce, donations, bill splitting with friends, micropayments, digital services, etc. These use cases are facilitated by our anything-to-anything payment offerings within the Ping layer, which brings me quite nicely into what we shipped this week. So there's actually been 3 main things we've shipped over kind of the last few weeks in between the last few ship streams. These 3 main things are the Ping Checkout API, Ping Links and the Ping dashboard, which are both within that dashboard. So starting with the API, the Ping Checkout API is an API which teams can easily integrate in their applications and start accepting payments in any asset supported by Near Intense, while settling in the token that they want to receive. It offers 3 main payment flows out of the box in the API: Pay with Wallet, which is currently all Near and currently supports all Near assets on Intense; Pay with Deposit, which is a flow for manual deposits or via QR code for any Intense supported asset that isn't supported by a wallet; and then Pay with Card, which is powered by our chain abstracted on-ramp SDK, which I've spoken about on this stream previously before. So yeah, moving over to kind of the dashboard for a little bit of a demo. We split it into 2 user groups. We've got a developer section and then a Ping Link section, which is more for no-code users. It's super easy to get started and can be integrated within 10 minutes. All you need to do in terms of the API is go to the API keys section, create an API key, add any webhooks in the webhook tab that you may want to add, and then in the settings tab, scroll down and enter the default recipient address that you would want those payments to go to. Payments will automatically go to that wallet address. You don't need to kind of withdraw or anything from your Ping account. It just goes directly to whichever wallet address you set here. There's also tabs in this developer section where you can view all of the payments which have came in to your API, whether they're successful, pending, failed. We've also kind of got session logs for key feedback funnels on where you're potentially losing sales, and then customers where you can search the wallet addresses of different users to see what volume of payments they've got coming through the platform. But yeah, this is all super easy to follow in our documentation, which I'll share at the end of the call. But the API key, super easy to integrate anything to anything payments into your application. So then when it comes to Ping Links are a no-code solution for accepting anything to anything payments. You can create a hosted checkout in seconds. Create a hosted checkout in seconds. Let users pay their way, and you receive the payment that you want to receive in the asset that you want to settle in. And we can do a bit of a demo of the Ping Links as well. So, like I said, Ping Links is focused at no-code users or people that don't want to necessarily leverage an API. The Ping Links dashboard section shows all of your links at a glance, like things like their name, their description, the type that they are, whether it's kind of fixed or an open amount, the asset that you want to receive and that amount, and then the specific volume that goes through each payment. You can also filter them and change them from active to inactive, and also manage them, whether that be sharing the link, copying the link, editing it if there's any changes that you need to make, or deleting the link entirely. You can also go into a more detailed view and see all of the individual payments and the statuses at that link. So for example, this one and the rent contribution, I went in, there's 2 pending payments from me, which I didn't complete, mainly because the rent contribution was 750 USD. But yeah, if you go into something like the bill splitting one, you can see here, there's a lot more payments. You see the total volume of those payments. There's some coming through from me. You can view the Explorer for that specific transaction, the amount that people paid. And then also, if you want to, for bookkeeping purposes, select all of the payments or specific ones, and then export those into a CSV file for you. So yeah, why don't we go back and create a link and show you how easy that is. Here we are. Like I said before, kind of it's aimed to be super easy to set up. Just enter your title. So let's do new week, and then just a description. What did you ship this week? And then payment amount. There's kind of 2 ways here, and this is dependent on the type of payment that you want to receive, whether that's fixed or open. Open payments is toggled here. This essentially lets the user define the amount that they want to pay you. This is really good for things like tipping, donations, anything where you just kind of want to say, pay me, you decide what you want to pay me, I'll receive my asset, you pay me with your asset, Ping will handle the rest in between. But for the sake of this one, we'll do 2 USDC on Near to my wallet, and we'll just funnel the funds back through my wallet again. But yeah, once you've created it, it's just really that simple. You've entered the details. Obviously, I'm running this locally, so this isn't a link you can interact with yourself. But you've got 3 different ways of sharing this link. You can copy it, and which is just more of a manual share link, which you can share to people directly. You can also show the QR code, which I think is also a really great feature here, because when it comes to things like NearCon, Ethember, conferences, or just general in real life activations. The QR codes can be scanned by people to take them directly to pay at that payment link that you've wanted for people to make payment at. And then also you can share it directly on Twitter as well. So there's also the preview button, which takes you directly to this payment that I've just created. So this is the checkout interface for the specific ping link. New week, what did you ship this week? Total payment to USDC. And then again, at the checkout interface, like I mentioned before, 3 different payment flows. You can pay with your wallet. You can pay with deposit, which I'll show you here. Essentially, the flow is you can do a manual deposit if you don't necessarily want to connect your wallet to the app. Or you can also go the QR code on your mobile, scan this QR code with your phone, and then make that deposit from your mobile wallet if you operate that way with your wallets. And then in terms of my payment, I'll go through pay with wallet. You've got the options that you want to select. So here we've got my balances, Near. So I want to pay with Near in this scenario. And it gets the quote. I'm paying to myself to USDC. So that'll be the settlement asset, but I'm going to pay in this transaction with 1.47 Near. You can kind of view the detailed transaction details for all of that, fees, route, anything like that. And then click pay. Let me just approve this in my wallet. And then now we're waiting for payment. This is being routed through Near Intents. Essentially, now it's going from Near in my wallet through Intents to USDC on Near to my wallet. And that is the receiving address for this payment, which I think is pretty awesome. Just to flick through while that payment goes through, I wanted to show on the same link the pay with deposit flow for other chains. So it's not just Near in the deposit flow. You've got Zcash, Ethereum, every asset supported by Near Intents you can pay with deposit. So Zcash, for example, you can select ZEC and pay with that, and it would fetch that same quote. And then flip back, here we are, payment successful. I've just made payment to that specific payment link, and we can flick back into here, and you can now see in the dashboard that's all been reflected. 2 USDC was paid, the volume was $2. I can view this payment here. And then we've got J success. That's the one that I've just made on the stream. And then view this on the Explorer, directly to the Intents Explorer, and it's all there, which I'm pretty stoked about. Obviously, I've been on a lot of these streams. Ping's been kind of a work in progress for a long time. Super excited to start getting this out to people. Really excited to get users on the Ping Link side from like the general community and also ecosystem partners with the API keys. We're actually currently integrated with the API on the Near merch store, which is where I got this awesome hat from. They're pilot use right now. I think in February, they're going to roll out a load of different designs. So if you're interested in merch, keep your eyes on that. But that's kind of everything in terms of the demo. I did want to touch on something similar to Julian earlier. Ping is actually one of the bounty sponsors for the Innovation Sandbox as well. I'm really keen, like I said, for people to start trying to use Ping. I'd love to see any teams build things like an application, an agent, a SaaS workflow that uses Ping for payments across fiat and crypto, whether that be from the Ping links, the API, or on-ramp, which I've showed on previous streams. We'll be doing some workshops as part of the schedule, but feel free to kind of reach out for any support directly, look at our docs. That's the Twitter for Ping if you want to reach out through there, or Telegram and Twitter is the same at JThew to contact me directly. I'd love to help anyone that is interested. Yeah, let me know. That's everything for me.
Super sick to see this journey from very early vision to this, Jay. I think that deserves a huge. I mean it.
Thanks,
I think
man.
this is awesome. Like you've been. There's a vision. Now there's a product, and there's been a lot of stuff in between, but you arrived at the product, man. And I think you should be very proud of yourself. Looks really cool, super slick design. Who like now you've like the merch store is obviously using Ping Pay, of course. Same as Nova. Everyone should be using it, right? Who are your ideal customers? Or what do you like? Where do you see? You know, of course there are like crypto natives and stuff, but could I not, if I run a cafe, accept crypto using Ping Pay? Like, could it be anyone, or
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like I showed in that demo. I think a big thing with even the QR code scans, I think there's so much opportunity for being able to start paying for crypto in person, even outside of like the crypto debit cards that we've seen kind of rising in popularity. I think being able to keep the self-custody on your own wallet, pay via Near Intent to any merchant that has a QR code that you can scan in person, I think is an awesome use case, and something that I'll probably try. Things like ETHDEMDA and NearCon, maybe you'll see a few QR codes for paying floating around at the event. We'll see. That's definitely something I want to do. But in general, to be honest, like I think the breadth of users is pretty high for Ping. That's why we're doing no code and API integrations. I think you could go from bill splitting with your friends to running a full merchandise store like the Near Legion. So anyone and everyone, genuinely, like if there's any kind of use case you're interested in that you've not even got fleshed out yourselves, hit my DMs and we can talk about it further.
Definitely. And what are the advantages of using something like Ping, like fee-wise? All these things, of course, you can pay in any crypto, but I guess fees are much lower considered to.
If you compare it to
all these
things like
guys, right?
Stripe or kind of traditional finance tools for payments in general, fees are like infinitely better, especially using Intents. I think that's one of the great beauties of using Near Intents is the fees are so low, and it opens such a wide variety of users via paying with literally any asset that they want to pay with. I think Intents now pretty much covers every chain, which being able to say to someone, you've got really quick settlement, really low fees from whichever asset you want to pay with, and you can pay with fiat as well. And like as a merchant, offer almost everything as a payment option in one kind of interface is something I'm really excited for. And yeah, looking forward to people starting to use it. Like I say, it's in that hackathon, so I'm looking forward to see some people build with it.
So basically, I saw there was a pay with card solution as well. So if you say pay in fiat, you can do that too.
Yeah. So obviously, I presented over the last few months with the on-ramp. We basically converting that into pay with card in that same interface. So it uses our on-ramp. The customer comes and pays with fiat. Their fiat is then routed to the destination asset that the merchant set in the same way that the on-ramp is, but you're just essentially on-ramping into their wallet address, which is pretty awesome.
This is great, Jay. So thank you so much for coming and showing the live demo of everything. Everything's up and running. I'm excited to see it IRL, hopefully very soon. And I'll tell everyone I know that have some sort of a point of sales that they should check out PingPay. One thing, Jay, I was thinking about is actually, is there any compliance issue? Let's say I run a cafe and I start taking payments in crypto. When I convert that to fiat, can I do that via PingPay, or like, what does the paper trail look like?
So that's a great question, and that's one thing that I've kind of done a lot of looking into in terms of it's all well and good providing all of these payment services for people, but when they receive the payment to their wallet, I kind of don't want it to just be hands off from Ping at that point and just let you deal with those funds, especially trying to bring people on chain. Essentially, the way I look at it is we want to try and provide all of the tools in one interface, whether that be on ramp, off ramp, or just being able to send your assets elsewhere for you to then deal with it, and kind of try and help you with that funnel from 0 to 1. But compliance and things like that is absolutely something at kind of the forefront of the thinking. But like I say, we want to make sure that as much as possible, we're helping the merchants and the users accept payments easier and then manage the funds beyond that.
And I think also, of course, managing and accepting the funds is also a legislative question. And as the industry matures, legislation matures, exactly. I think that's also going to be solved for. Okay. Well, Jay, fingers crossed. I hope you're going to get some fantastic submissions for your Sandbox bounty, and looking forward to seeing all of it unfold.
Yeah, likewise, man. Looking forward to seeing you at NearCon.
Definitely. Thanks so much for coming, Jay, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Nice. You too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Last up, we have Sasha from LNC, aka Learn Near Club. And just before the stream, I had a chat with Sasha. and I felt like I was in a cold place, in a cold part of the world. But Sasha told me he was in a part of the world where it's double as cold, and it's gonna get even colder tonight. So I'm not complaining. Sasha, great to have you back. Take it away. Let us know a little bit about the Near Club, and then what you've been up to lately.
Yes, my pleasure to be here, and my intent matters, right? So like, don't complain about cold. Just go on site and do some exercise to stay warm. I'm Sasha, founder of Learnia Co-op, community learning platform about Near protocol and Near ecosystem, where we help normal people, not just crypto native, everyone, try Web3 tooling for their real life cases. So, and this week I want to share you something that not exactly that we like Learnia Co-op or me personally built, but I want to demo the example how you can actually get your very own private AI assistant right in your very own private oriented browser without asking permission from anyone. Let me show you my screen. 1 second, share screen. All right, window. Okay. Okay. So that's basically the thing. And how do we do it? We're going to be using, of course, we're going to be using Near AI Cloud, where you can buy a private inference and use it for your means. And recently, Near AI partnered with HotDAO, and they implemented payment with crypto. So you don't even need a credit card or anything to get your very own private eye. Private eye inference. Let me log in into the Near account. Here you go. And it's not that complicated after all, right? So like in a few clicks, you just got to the Near AI Cloud dashboard overview. You can see the models that you can use. Recently the few models added. We're going to be using GGLM 4.71. Okay, so let's go back to dashboard. Apparently, we need to get API keys to add them to be used at Leo, the personal AI assistant in Brave browser. So let's go back to Near AI Cloud, go to credits. Okay, it takes some time. Let me refresh it. Yeah. That's not good. Okay, so let me make a hard refresh. Something is not quite right there. This is not good. Oh, there you go. Oh, shoot. So I'm going to add some credits, $1 on next. And payments, as I said before, been powered by HotPay via Near10. So basically, in this particular case, we use all the Near tools. It's Near AI Cloud, Hot Wallet, HotPay, and Near10 all in one, right? So and you just literally, you don't need to ask anyone to do so. Let's try to pay $1. There you go. So I'm gonna pay from my Near balance, proof transfer. proof. So as you can see, you don't even need to hold any USDC in your account. Near tens make all the magic, and you're gonna be converted to USDC in the background. Any other asset that your account holds. Okay, there you go. Let's try to refresh. The payment is processing. Anyway, so you just saw, like, you just took few clicks. No credit card, no KYC, nothing. All you need is just your Near account with some Near or maybe some other assets. Let's refresh the screen. Okay, it's still processing. Anyways, since I already have some credits here, and I prepared IP key, easy peasy to do. Like, you just do it like this, right? Like okay, Brave layer 2, max $1, create key, there you go. So now we go back to Brave settings. We check Leo, and we create, or in my case, I just gotta edit the or demonstrate how you can edit the models that I already added before. It's NearAI G11 4.7. Simple settings, endpoint, context lens, IP key. You can adjust your system prom if you like, and I found out that the default one works a little bit worse than my improved one, so I stick with my updated one, and here you go. And in order to use your private inference, you can set it default model for new conversation, and let's see if it's actually there. So we go to Leo, and for the models, you can see automatic and my own model. That means that actually I'm using the private browser, and I'm using my pretty powerful private AI inference, and no hassle. Like, it just literally all you need is 5 minutes. Okay, let's ask something like 5 plus 6. Yeah. Oh, 11. It's yeah. It was very well. And the one very important point that I want to mention, as Learning Club is all about learning, and my lifelong passion is learning, is that most of the time when you learn, right, and especially when you learn alone at home, and you don't have access to a teacher or to a tutor, or even to your peer, so you actually have nobody to talk about the problems that you face and to ask questions. It's psychologically super easy to talk to private AI tutor that never shames you, like you don't have to afraid to ask silly questions. Like, okay, some people maybe cannot do the simple math, right? 5 plus 6, and they will be afraid to ask somebody about that, right? If they don't have calculator and stuff like that. And having this opportunity to ask any question you want without even possibility being ashamed for this question is a big fucking deal actually for learners. And that's why I think the use case that I present you here, like, has a very bright future for normal people, not necessarily crypto related, doesn't matter. Any age, just go set up your private assistant and talk about the stuff that you want. And like, you literally don't need anything to do this. Like, it's just internet access, Brave browser, new account, and some function. Okay, so let's give it a try in the trenches. Let's go back to Learning Lab website, and we have our own Learn AI assistant. How do I? Which is powered by NearCloud as well, and it is completely free. You don't even need any Near at your account. You actually pay by learns, and you get that learns for doing learning activities. So in order to use Learn AI, you need to learn stuff. So sounds like a very, very compelling model to me. So it's not free, but you pay with your efforts. Sounds good. Okay, let's ask Learn AI. What does it think about it? And I guess it knows very well how to make this setup, because it has in his memory that article. I cloud, blah blah blah. Connect Brave Flow, very clean. Let's check what our Levi thinks about that. Okay, how do I? Okay, run H and write assistant in a browser. And I assume since that this particular assistant that does not have reference to Learning Hub private knowledge base, it will give you a little bit, blurry answer, which is quite fine, right? So, and the and this use case. This case illustrates also how important the knowledge base is, and how important products like Asimov Protocol and some other guys in this space tackling that issue, like to bring data from you, data from other relevant sources to your private and personal AI assistant to make them work better for you. So that's basically it. And again, like anyone can try it, super easy, super useful, and yeah, nothing can stop you, from owning your own AI.
I think this is a really cool implementation, Sasha. I never thought of doing anything like this. Where did you come up with this idea of running NearAI inside the Leo assistant in this way?
It's not like something super unique, The bring your own model is a very, very promising approach for any channels. And as we know, NearAI and Brave they already partnered to power the Leo AI assistant for nightly version. And then I just like, let me check if I can do it, without like waiting for the
Exactly.
waiting for
Exactly, for the real thing.
waiting when it go like in mass production, right? But yeah, and all stars aligned, and at the same time, hot pay arrived, so you can pay with crypto, and now it's like pure beauty, right? No credit card, no email, no nothing.
Exactly, and you have access to intelligence. Like this is a really good example of how cheap or commoditized intelligence is getting when you're able to plug it in like this. All you need is internet connection.
Yeah. For me, it's not even about cheap and stuff. It's about how it is permissionless.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do not depend on anyone. Like Brave is there, right? NearAI Cloud is there. Near is there.
And it's 100% private.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think this is super cool. I like these small experiments, Sasha. Please keep making more of them. I think I'm gonna make a tutorial for this. Or I'm just gonna use the clip I'm just gonna use this clip and I'm gonna post it. We're gonna post it as a tutorial because I think it's a super cool way of putting the technology to use.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Sasha.
There is a short article at Learning Club website, and we actually used like a couple of hundreds of our users to try it. So yeah, it's super easy to install. Yeah.
I think it's cool. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming, Sasha. And I hope you don't. I hope you can stay warm in the minus 30 degrees. I'm gonna stick with my minus 11.
Yeah.
And
You're
hopefully,
gonna
maybe we'll see each other in San Francisco. It'll be a little bit warmer.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Definitely, Sasha. Pleasure always
Thank you.
seeing you. And have a great night.
My pleasure. Good night.
Bye. All right, fellas, we're at the end of the ship stream. This was the first one of the year. As I pointed out in the beginning of the stream, this is a show where you, the developers, the projects, building with Near technology or building around the sovereign AI stack or Near intents, you have the ability to come here and introduce to the community what you're doing. This is what this show is all about. And there's nothing more that warms my heart than giving the stage and appreciation for the projects that are actually building inside our ecosystem. So if you are building something cool, or you know someone who's building something cool, please let us know so we can reach out to them and bring them to this show. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, stay near and don't care too much about the markets. Prices go up, prices go down. But in the long run, everything goes up. All right, none of this was financial advice, of course. Do your own research. I'm Peter from Nearweek, and I'll see you soon. Bye, fellas.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Nearweek.